Hi there, how's it going? This is Amin Chamani and we are here again to talk about and enjoy football. Football has always been my passion since I can remember, and I love to share all this excitement with you. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about a cool rule of football, Law 11, aka offside. Admit it, all of us have in some point celebrated a goal only to find seconds later that it wasn't accepted by the referee, as it was an offside. I want to explain this offside situation to you in a way that the next time you are watching a football game and offside happens, you will spot it even before the commentator mentions that. First, let me tell you something interesting. There are sort of players in football, almost always attackers, who might not be as skilled or technical as great players, but there's something that they have mastered: scoring. So how do they do that, you might ask? They are known as goal hangers. In a football field, it is easy to score if you just stay nearby the goal of the opponent and just wait for a pass or rebound to score a goal. This used to happen a lot when I was a child playing with other peers. There was often a smart who used to stick around the goal just waiting for an easy chance to score. Well, that, my friends, is known as goal hanging, which is not that much fun when it happens a lot. So as there is no real challenge or creativity in just passing the ball from anywhere to an area near the goal for a teammate to score, the offside law was formed. Well, that makes sense, cause it's kinda cheap to score like that, and I suppose everybody got it as soon as football started to be played. Offside is pretty much an ancient law, existing since colleges started setting rules for football. Ethan included it, Cambridge rules too, and even that strict self-dependent Sheffield club found it handy to use. You can watch the history of football I've put for you here. So let's get back to the offside. First, let me clear something up. There's an offside position and there's an offside offense. Now there's nothing wrong solely by being present in offside position. Let me explain what is offside position first. This is when first the player should be in opponent's half of the field. The body, head or the feet, excluding arms or hands, should be in opponent's side of the field, excluding the half line. Second, the player should be ahead of the ball. So remember, whenever the player is at the back of the ball, there's no offside. Third, a maximum of one opponent's player should be in between the player and the opponent's goal line. Remember that usually the goalkeeper is standing on the goal line, so if there's one opponent's player between the player and the goal line, excluding the goalkeeper, there's no offside position. It is important to note that if the head, body or feet of the player are level with the last two opponent's player or the second last opponents, there's no offside position. Now, when it's an offside offense and the referee penalizes the player, first of all, the player should be in offside position. Then in almost all the situations, the ball should be touched by or passed from a teammate prior to the offense. Then, the player in offside position should be involved in play in a way that, first, receiving or even touching the ball. Second, doing any attempt to prevent the opponent from receiving the ball. Third, getting in the opponent's line of vision and obstructing it. Even if the ball is rebounds from the crossbar or goalpost to the player in offside position, it is considered offside. So, let's discuss a situation which makes it not an offside. When the ball is played with by an opponent before getting to the player in an offside position is not an offside. Now listen to me. It is still an offside offense when the ball rebounds from an opponent's to the player in offside position, or while the opponent is trying to make a save, which means stop the ball from getting into the net. It is still an offside offense if the ball get to the player in offside position. So remember that a deliberate play, which means your opponent is playing with the ball or touching the ball deliberately, makes it not an offside offense if the ball gets to the player in offside position. But if the opponents make a deliberate save, which means that they try to stop the ball from getting into the line, and then the ball get to the player in offside position, it is an offside offense. Just remember an important thing. If the player in offside positions receives the ball directly from the goal kick, which means when the goalkeeper is starting the ball from his penalty area, when he receives the ball from throwing in, and when he receives the ball from corner kick, there's no offside in these three situations. So I want to summarize it. First of all, you should notice the player in offside positions. There's always offsides in the opponent's half of the side. The player in offside position should be in front of the ball and the second last opponent's player. This is offside position. And when he gets the ball or involved in a play, in a situation that maybe he is in the line visions of the goalkeeper or the opponent's player, maybe he tried to impact on the opponent player, or maybe just make a movement that impacts on opponent's player. This makes an offside offense. You should notice it very carefully. But some interesting things about offside. This law was not always been like this. As I said before, the law existed since the first rules were set to prevent the game from getting bland. At first, in 1863, three opponent's players had to be ahead of the attacker in order not to call it an offside. Then around 50 years later, the three players changed to two players for more attractiveness. And then finally in 1990, the rule changed to how it is today. Actually, it is interesting to know that they were nice attempts to limit the offside law to penalty area, or maybe a sparing free kick from offside law. But as you might have guessed, this just got messed up and they undid it and brought the original rule back to the football game. So we already know that the main reason for making this law was goal hangers. But it has its perks. First and most, it makes football sophisticated. Defenders have to keep an eye on the offside line during the game, which drains some energy from them. And as they have to get harmonized and coordinated, it would be much harder for them with offside law. Plus, attackers and midfielders have to be more creative and brilliant to make an opportunity for their teammates, as they should escape from the offside line, or they should consider that they shouldn't be caught in offside position.
What?
Another cool point about offside, in my opinion, is that offside lines, both offside lines, are like two hypothetical lines constantly keeping the players in between and restraining them from spreading all over the place. Another thing which I want to mention regarding offside is that the two referees' assistants or linesmen's main duty used to be moving as about the same level as the last defender to detect offside. But with the VAR technology, this duty lost its previous value. Speaking of which, I think it's interesting to talk a bit about VAR. One of the main purposes of having VAR nowadays is to confirming offsides. There are plenty of offsides in the history which were falsely detected or the other way around. Offsides remained undetected and injustices were done to the teams. I personally am an intense fan of VAR, and what I want to say is a positive effect of VAR on ensuring the justice in football. When offside happens during a scoring opportunity, the referee assistants ignore it until after the team scores or the scoring opportunity finished, and then he or she announce the offside offense. Why? Because they might be wrong about the offside, and if that gets proven by VAR, the team has scored. And even if it was indeed an offside, no one has anything to lose. But if they pause the game like before and it was a falsely identified offside, so the team loses its chance. And at the end, I want to tell something about goal hangers. When we are talking about goal hangers, the Filippo Inzaghi's name pops up inevitably. Maybe he wasn't a fast or skilled player as the greatest one in football history, but he was really good. He was really skilled in scoring a goal. Of course, offside is formed to prevent this kind of players from doing what they're mastered in, but I think Filippo Inzaghi has done it perfectly. There are always players who do not try or run during the game as much as others, but they can easily pass the ball from the goal line to score a goal. I think Filippo Inzaghi is the best one, and it is really fun to name him as an ultimate goal hanger. This is for today's video, guys. Please let me know in the comments if you have anything interesting about this, and I love to learn from you. Thank you for watching till this point. If you have enjoyed, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more interesting videos about football. Have a nice day. Bye.